Hey, hi. I'm Mona. This is Chit Chat. So I watched the last video that I made, and I was all rambling. It's usually how it is. But I realized when I was on there, I didn't really mention how I get over these spots of depression, right? Or when a mental health issue comes up, and when I start, what do I do to get out of that funk, right? Like, oh yeah, I get depressed too. How do you do it? For everyone, it's different. I'll tell you this right now. But I do know if you suffer from some sort of mental health issues, whether or not you take pharmaceuticals, that's up to you. But I will say that alcohol and drugs are not a good thing. If you are using while you're taking your mental health pills, it will have an effect on the chemistry of the pill, which might lead to something that's not good for you. So my first advice to get over like mental health issues, because if you have them, you will have them, right? You're not going to get over them. What's going to happen is you're going to get through it, right? Okay. I've got to think of my words carefully because I want to try to explain this properly because maybe it will work for you too. So the first thing in regards to that is, I make sure, am I eating or taking anything that is making me overthink, right? Alcohol and drugs do that, okay? So, and I figure out, okay, no, it's not that. Okay, so we got there, right? Now, I don't take my mental health pills. I don't take pharmaceuticals. I don't take anything. I won't even take an ibuprofen. So, how do you deal with the pain? I just deal with it. If I go to the dentist and I have teeth pulled, I refuse the narcotics. Yeah, that's how gnarly I am. I will not take the pills. If I go to the hospital and they're like, oh, your something is dangerously high, like, medical, high blood pressure, or high, then yes, I will take it. But I don't need to. Why? Because I look after my health. If I don't want to take those other pills, I need to make changes in my life, right? Yes. So, say that you have a mental health issue, right? Like, for example, I had some depression. I have depression, right? I also have seasonal affective disorder, which during the holidays, I become a little sad and depressed and things like that. How do I get over that? Well, sometimes if you have family, you can talk to them about it, you know? And you can talk to them about your feeling, your sadness, or whatever, right? You may not actually know that you may have seasonal affective disorder if you feel sad around the holidays. So my suggestion is, because this is how I get over things, when I start feeling a certain way and I see like, okay, I'm not getting up, I'm not being active, I'm feeling sluggish, I'm feeling slow, I'm feeling like I don't want to do anything, I start to do research. Yeah. It'll take my mind off of the depression and it'll start me focusing on why I feel a certain way. And then I look up things and like, oh yeah. And then I remember, okay, because I didn't remember about the seasonal affective disorder. And then I remember, and then I go, oh, okay, so let me make some changes, right? Now, if you don't know if you have that or not, don't be like a hypochondriac and be like, that's what I have, It doesn't mean go to the doctor, get diagnosed, and get pills. It really doesn't. Um, and some people just don't have the money to go to the doctor and get pills anyways. So when things come up like this for me, I try to, I'll do a little research and I'll try to figure out what it is, right? And then I will look up things of how to overcome it. Google is great. You can find out things to overcome stuff. And most of the time, it's like, okay, recognizing what the problem is, right? But you have to know in your mind, all right, I know what the problem is, and I can get through this, right? And so the next thing I start to do is I start thinking, okay, what have I been eating, right? I'll tell you what, fast food, eating too much fast food, I think will cause some depression, because that food, it's like feel-good food, but then you feel the guilt later. You think the guilt later of, I shouldn't eat that, I shouldn't, but you do anyways because it's addictive. Fast food is addictive. So that also can also be a sort of something that's not good for you. So I try to look at, what am I eating here? Is it healthy? Processed foods, can do a little something to you too, to the body. I start focusing on stuff like that, right? Then that type of thing takes my mind off of the depression, right? Because now I'm wondering, what am I eating? Let me go through my things. What did I eat today? What have I been eating the past couple of days? Can I cut something out? Oh, I've been eating too much sugar, or oh, I've been drinking too much coffee. Like things like that. Little changes can make you forget about other things because you'll be more concerned about, oh, I want to be healthy, right? Because part of mental health is also physical health, right? When you have a mental health issue, your body will decline because you don't want to do things, because you feel sad and you feel depressed. So the best thing for someone to do, you gotta have a strong will. You have to say, all right, I know this is going on. I don't want to feel this way anymore, and I don't need to feel this way anymore. So let's start figuring other things out to make me feel better, right? So I take my mind off of sadness or whatever, and I think about, what kind of stuff can I add to my diet to give me pep? What kind of stuff what have I been missing? And another thing I noticed I've been missing, and I've been missing for the past, it's been like a week. It's been like a week actually. And I have a friend that posted on the Facebook about pomegranates, that pomegranates are very healthy, and about parasites and all these things. And I was thinking, oh, that's another thing. I haven't had my pomegranate juice all week. I buy right? It's pomegranate juice. I don't drink it whole like that. It's very strong stuff. But I love pomegranate lemonade. I love pomegranate drink, but I don't drink it straight. I'll mix it with water. I'll throw a little sweetener in there. Not sugar-free sweetener. I'll put that in there and I'll drink it like that. It's very nice. I make pomegranate. I use pomegranate a lot. And so that could actually be something that could assist me in getting over it. So most likely when we go to the store next time, I'm going to buy me the bottle of pomegranate juice. There's a lot of things with, what is it called? Antioxidants. I think antioxidants help with mental health. Now, if that's not scientifically true or proven or anything, that's okay, because it's like a placebo in my mind, right? That's another thing I do. Placebos. I know pomegranate juice is good for you, right? And there's a lot of good properties to it, right? But I can trick myself into thinking it's good for me, right? And my mental health, right? Not just my physical health. When I do things that I find out are good for you and I try them, I automatically placebo that into, and I incorporate that into my mental health, right? Because when your body is healthy, I feel like your mind will become healthy, right? If you don't put toxins in, then your body starts to repair itself from all the toxins you probably put in the past, and you can rebuild, I think, your mental health that way, right? By being more concerned about your health. So that's basically what I do. I might add also, extra time to the walks with the dogs. I will also maybe add a little extra exercise routine. But if that doesn't work, because sometimes it doesn't, I will break out something like my color pens, and I will color. I will do anything just to motivate, get me up, stop being sad, right? Stop being sad and stop feeling depressed. Because the longer you do this, the body will decline during that time. And I'll tell you what. So I was in the depression mode, and what did I do? I went straight out and I got not fast food. It was actually good cooked food, but I don't normally do it, but I did it because I didn't feel like cooking, right? That for me is a signal to me, oh, you're depressed. You don't even want to make yourself a sandwich or something like that. You went and go out. I did purchase good food, quality food. It wasn't like, industrialized food. It was from a taco truck, and they cook it right there, you know what I mean? And the meat quality is good. It's real meat, So I went there, but still, even though the food was quality, it was still like you did that because you were too depressed to cook. So another thing about mental health is you have to know the signs. You have to know how to read your own body, right? That's another thing. And I know it's real hard for a lot of people out there because they don't have the time to sit and to ponder and to research and to look things up and to try to figure out themselves, right? But the number one thing for me, and it might be for someone else, is you cannot do alcohol and drugs if you have a mental health problem. You cannot. And that includes pharmaceuticals, narcotics, Vicodins, codeines, whatever those nasty pills are, the painkiller stuff, you know what I mean? There are also like drugs, pharmaceuticals, like that stuff, that Adderall. That stuff, you might as well just go out and do some meth. It's not good for you. Yeah, it's drugs. It's the government pumping you with drugs. Feeling like that's the only way you can heal yourself is to be high. So, that's how, they're barking at another dog. So, I mean, it's different, like I said, for everyone, but the main focus, I think, for anyone is to get your health in order. Your mind will respond to that. I'm just pulling Chica in, that's all. I don't want her to be outside because she will bark at that dog out there. Yeah, that's it. That's something that I can suggest to anyone who has depression, is to try to figure out why you're sad. Why are you feeling that way? And the next step would be, what are you eating? Are you eating healthy? Yeah, that's how I feel. What you put in your mouth is going to affect you in every way. So, and then if you figure out, like, I haven't been eating good today. I didn't eat good yesterday too. I've been eating too much of this and too much of that, and fatty foods, sugary foods, whatever foods it is, right? Too much sodas. Then you can be like, all right, maybe I can cut something out. Did I do any activity yesterday? What did I do in terms of exercise? You know, like think that way. And then you can take your mind off of, you know, the depression because you're thinking of something else. You know what I mean? So, yeah. If I can think of other things that I do to try to get over the depression humps, you know, the depression or the seasonal affective disorder or whatever, you know, because those are only two parts of my diagnosis, but they're important parts because they help me to realize what's going on, right? And if you can figure it out, and if you can monitor your internal like the feelings you have inside, then you're on the road to helping yourself get over these, things that might happen in certain times of the year to you. Like you might feel a certain way at a certain time of the year or something, even like if something triggers you, you see something or something happens and it triggers you and it throws you into a depression. The best thing I can say for that is to just, you know what, go get a good ass night's sleep. But before you go to sleep, promise yourself that you're going to get up in the morning, you're going to shake it off, you're going to figure out why that made you so upset, and then you're just going to make some changes. That's how you got to do, you know, if you want to help yourself. Because we have too many people going and trying to get all this mental health stuff, and I see all this online stuff, and sometimes the mental health people actually cause a lot of damage. For me, that's the case. And it could be the case for a lot of people. And I hate to see people who have mental illness go through the medical system we have and end up killing themselves because they don't know what to do, because we don't have very good mental health professionals. Most of the mental health professionals we do have are in that field because they have issues with themselves or with someone in their family that they're trying to figure out their mental health issues. And if they can't even do that for their family or themselves, how can they do that for anyone else? All they can do is look at you, figure out what's wrong with you, diagnose you, and give you a pill. That doesn't help. You need to be active in your own mental health. And that's how I do every single day. That's why I'm out here also. I have an issue with trust. I have a trust issue with people. I have an issue with people trying to use me or take advantage of me or hurt me. So I have issues with that. That's why I'm guarded all the time. But I try to deal with that on my own. The first step to that was to get rid of all the people who have hurt me or disrespected me or were bad to me in my life. That was my first step. I had to get rid of everyone. I think the only people now in my life is my sister and my nephew, because to my knowledge, they have not done anything to hurt me. I don't think. I know my nephew hasn't. But yeah, you know. So I don't know. Hopefully this helped somebody out there who is suffering from mental illness, you know. And I really want to help others out there. And the only thing I can do is just tell you what I do. And not everybody can do what I do. And a lot of that is a lot of my healing is attributed to this camping everywhere and exploring. And I do know that I chose this because when I was growing up, I never had camping experience, fun like that, travel. I never had that growing up with my family. It was not, you know? And so I think that's why I chose to do this, because I wanted to do something I never did before that I never got to do. And I wanted to do that, so that's why I chose this. So it's kind of like I'm doing all the things that I never got to do when I was young because I was never shown it, or I was never, basically my family never made me feel good enough. So that's why I, feel like I'm good enough to do whatever I want, and I deserve to be out here and enjoying my life. So I think that's why I do it. But yeah, I really hope this helps somebody. If I come up with more stuff, or if I find myself in depression and I'm trying to pull myself out of it, I will come on here and I will try to tell you guys what exactly I'm doing to get me over that depression hump. You know what I mean? Because I really know that you can do it. If I can be out here and do it and learn how to subside the feelings or decrease those feelings, and to bring a smile back onto my face, then I want to show you guys how to do that for yourselves. So yeah, for right now, that's all I have for you guys. Hopefully some of this stuff was clear, because I'm not sure, because I ramble a lot. But that's all I have. And I'm Mona. This is Chit Chat, and I'll talk to you guys next time.